That there is someone at Arsenal who always really watches these videos that I obviously do. I think some person is still there because I've always told you that the most important signing that Arsenal should make during this winter transfer window is a right back, because you cannot guarantee the longevity of Benjamin White. And Benjamin White is the understudy for Julian Timber, who plays as a right back for the club of Arsenal. And guess what? Arsenal is tracking the right back of Newcastle, who goes by the names of Livramento, in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are, and continue to subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more we really get more and more and more numbers. And I think we're left with just 40 subscribers to hit 28,000 subscribers. So go into the lower left bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, the notification bell, that will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. Chelsea have also gone ahead to announce their manager, Rosenior, and he is really the new manager for Manchester United. I will be uploading a video onto the United Matters channel after here. So, how is your Tuesday? How is your Tuesday, my mates? And guess what? Steve K has come up and obviously dropped a very big story. And who is Steve K? Steve K is a freelance football journalist. He works for transfer.com, Court Offside, and then Anfield Watch, but he's so much attached to the club of Arsenal. He really gets in very credible news and information about a club known as Arsenal in there. So he has come up and obviously told us that Arsenal is tracking Newcastle defender Tino Livramento. Management has not yet decided if they will launch a formal bid during the January transfer window. Now, this is the signing that Arsenal need. Arsenal need a signing like Livramento. I tell you, he is the signing that Arsenal need, because they need a right back. Benjamin White is not reliable, first and foremost. And secondly, Timber is also really playing a lot of games. You can rely on Timber, but the problem is, when you play him lots of games, the workload will obviously be too much, and he will obviously get injured. That's why you saw to it that in the game that they went to play Club Brugge, the manager was like, I'm not taking Julian Timber. And you saw to it that who played as the centre back, it was Nogard, and I think Benjamin White played as the right back. When they came in here to play, I think, was it the game, which game was they playing in the Premier League? The manager never even went ahead to name him. I think the playing, was it Brighton, and he came in through to feature in the game of Aston Villa. So the manager is trying to manage his workload. But why is that all happening? It's because Benjamin White is really on and off. Though Benjamin White is back, but you cannot really rely on him when it comes to being there and being a variable for every game, meaning that Arsenal need another right back. Now, who is Livramento? Livramento is an English professional footballer who plays as a fullback for Premier League club Newcastle United and the England national team. Born on November 12, 2002, he has 23 years of age. He was born in Croydon, United Kingdom. Current team is Newcastle, and he is one of those who joined them in 2023 from Southampton. You understand, he's 1.8 meters tall. That is Livramento for you. When you look at his stats this season, he has played 12 games out of the 20 games. Remember, he really went ahead to get a very bad injury, just going ahead to return, and 0 goals, and he has 1 assist. But if you know what you know about Livramento, he's the right guy for the job at the club of Arsenal, because 1, he's Premier League proven. That is the most important bit of it all, right? Premier League proven. And he gets straight into that Arsenal team. Defensively, he's really great. And obviously, going forward, he's really great also. That is Livramento. Then, the other huge factor about him is that he won with Newcastle. I think Newcastle lifted, was it the Carabao Cup after beating Liverpool? So he's a winner. You get? And the other factor, the lad is English, meaning that you are adding more proven players, homegrown players to the squad. That is it. You are adding more home-based players to the squad. Remember, Arsenal really had gone ahead to expose off most of the English players. And when you look at their team right now, how many English players do they have? Lewis Kelly, Benjamin White, there is Declan Rice, there is Bukayo Saka, there is Eze, there is Noni Madueke, right? There is this other guy, Max Dolman, you understand? There is Waneri, you understand? But remember, some of them have just gone ahead to be dropped in the recently concluded summer transfer window of 2025, and that is Ebelechi Eze and Ebelechi Eze and Noni Madueke. Now, adding this one will be really very important to them because he's an English-grown player. And they know to it that if you want your team to obviously become great in England, that DNA of the nationals, the home best players, should obviously be should obviously be happening more and more and more and more and more and more. That's why the brand of Manchester United in England is really strong, because they went ahead to find themselves in a position of really putting out a very huge shift as a side of Manchester United in as far as doing the job is really concerned. And they really put out a very huge shift as a club of Manchester United, with having very many English players that went ahead to obviously put in a very huge fight, and lots of things really went ahead to happen in their favor as a side of Manchester United. So Livramento for me is a very good recruitment, but remember, they are not the only team that really need Livramento. A team known as Man City is also in need of a signature of this player. You understand? Even Man City needs the signature of this player. Very many clubs in England are really showing huge intent to obviously have this player under them. So that's why I tell you that Livramento is really a hot cake in the January transfer window, and even when it comes to the summer transfer window. Now, Arsenal has to make a decision whether they attack now or not, but the question is, will Newcastle really sell the player? That is the most important bit of it all. Will Newcastle come up and obviously sell the player? That is the most important question that needs an answer. Will Newcastle come up and obviously say, we can let this player go? That is it, because I don't think they really have very many players that can play in that position. But it depends on the money. I've gone ahead to hear that they want, if £80 million are really put onto the table, they can let the player go. You get? Because for me, there are very many right backs in the world that you can obviously go ahead and really bring in. But Livramento has also to ask himself the following questions: that he's in line to compete for that position of the right back for the squad that will go ahead and will represent England at the World Cup. Will he get enough playing time at the side of Arsenal? That is the most important bit of it all. Because if he goes in the summer, that's okay, because he will have time to really launch himself very well into that team of Arsenal, right? But right now, can the manager obviously come up and really put in a very huge shift for that? That is the hugest question that we have to ask ourselves in here onto our beautiful channel. So that is all about a side known as Livramento, and Arsenal are really in for him. You get? So Livramento is still young, 23 years of age. I think he ticks all the boxes, meaning that you've gone ahead to bring in a player that will obviously do a job for you for a very, very, very long time as the side of Arsenal. You get? So £80 million. Is he worth it? We wait and see how Arsenal will obviously go on. But obviously, with the bidding war that will happen, you obviously expect a lot to happen amongst these players, amongst these teams. You get? and it's not really an easy one. You get? The other point that you have to look at, like I told you yesterday on the deal of Rodrigo, that whichever team will go in for Rodrigo, they will stand a chance of really putting out a very huge shift in winning the trophy next season. Now, even Livramento is really going to be key because very many big teams will obviously be looking at signing the player. So let's leave Livramento in there for you as Arsenal really charges to obviously do the needful and obviously make a decision for Livramento in there. We get to Chelsea, having gone ahead to sack their manager who goes by the names of Enzo Maresca. Liam Rosenior has been confirmed he's set to sign for Chelsea as head coach. I'm about to become the new manager of Chelsea, one of the biggest clubs in the world, Rosenior announces. Agreement that was yesterday in the night, and how we went ahead to obviously get in a very big bomber. Chelsea confirm Liam Rosenior as their new head coach on a contract valid until June 2032. 6.5-year contract for the new coach. So I don't know why they've gone ahead, obviously give him such a long contract. What if he doesn't perform? And I think the longer the contract, the huge or the larger the compensation. And being named as the Chelsea manager, Liam Rosenior said, being Chelsea coach is an unbelievable opportunity at an incredible club. The world champions. I can go home, see my kids, sign for a magnificent club. I can't turn down this opportunity. These 18 months at Strasbourg have been my best time. So Rosenior is in, and he is now the new Chelsea manager, confirmed. And which games is he obviously going to be? Playing first as a Chelsea manager? They are as follows. Let's check out Chelsea and see what games are really on his way. Is he starting it on a tough note? Obviously, tomorrow on Wednesday, he's going to be playing against Fulham away, London Derby. Then on Saturday, 10th January, he'll play against Charlton. It will be Charlton versus Chelsea in there. Then on Wednesday, 14th, it will be Chelsea versus Arsenal, first semi-final of the Carabao Cup. It's going to be played at the Stamford Bridge, and that's going to be the first game for him to play in there at Stamford Bridge. Then Chelsea Brentford Premier League 17th, Chelsea Paphos in there. I think that is Champions League. Then Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, Napoli versus Chelsea, another Champions League game. Chelsea versus West Ham. I think these games are really coming in thick and fast, and he has to do the needful. I tell you, he has to do the needful if he's really to find himself in a position of really impressing his managers. Because for me, what I know about Chelsea, the first 10 games are really going to be very important. The moment he doesn't really perform, I tell you, they might sack him. I know this team, I know the board, and I know what they can do. They will sack him. You get? They'll sack him because that is a sackable offense. You understand? So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is here, so tell me your thoughts about Arsenal tracking Livramento. What do you make about it? And Rosenior being named as the manager of Chelsea. Do you think he'll long live here, or he's another one who will obviously be shown the exit door very soon in here onto the Rokani Media Football? I sign out for now. See you later. And Rokani David is my name. I love you all, and thank you for watching this beautiful channel.